Hey, what's up guys? Jake here with Success Motors. I got a walk around video for you guys today. Y'all, it's a pretty cool truck, but hey, if it is your first time with us, welcome. I am Jake. I am the owner operator of Success Motors down here in College Station, Texas. We sell a lot of these Ford Excursions and we sell a lot of them up north. So the goal behind this video is to show you all the details, all the flaws, imperfections about this rig. So if you want to buy it sight unseen, if you don't want to come down here, my goal behind this video is that you would know the majority or as much as you can about this thing without actually coming to put your hands on it. I do always recommend come put your hands on it. Inevitably, I'm going to miss something. So I always recommend fly into College Station, drive in if you've got the opportunity. But if you want to handle this thing electronically, we can absolutely do that as well. But again, my goal here is to show you everything that I can and teach you everything I know about this Ford Excursion. But all right, I'm gonna walk around a little bit from a distance while I kind of talk about it, and then I'll get a little bit closer to it. So this one is a 2001 Ford Excursion. It is an XLT. It's four-wheel drive, and it is the 7.3 liter Powerstroke Diesel. Kind of cool truck. It's got quite a few modifications done to it, so I'll try to make sure I highlight all of those throughout the video, but definitely check the description below. I typically write everything down there. This truck here is a clean title. It's a Southern truck, so kind of an interesting story. By the way, it has 207,000 miles on it. It's a very nice rig. I actually have owned this one twice. So I bought this truck maybe 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago, from the owner who, so if you look on Carfax, it was spent some time in California and then it got moved down to Texas. And when it was registered in Texas, I think it shows up as another owner, but it was the same person. So I bought it from the person or the family who had owned it for 11 years. And it was a grocery getter. I literally negotiated with the woman who drove it for 11 years. She loved it. She was sad to see it leave. So the history that I was told and the history that I know is this truck spent prior to the last year was with the same family for 11 years. And again, was driven as a grocery getter to go get the kids, take them to school, stuff like that. Well, she sold it to me, and then I sold it to a guy in Dallas, and he drove it for a year. I think he used it to tow his boat around, and then he recently sold it, and I bought it back. So the history that I know, I've got some maintenance to run through with you that I've been told that was done to it, and I'll tell you all about that throughout the video. But again, it's a 2001. It's in good condition. There are some flaws. She's not perfect. The paint is nice. Does have a little bit of oxidation on the hood and roof, which I'll show you. But as far as the body is really clean. It just does have some paint issues, which I'll show you. It does have a 6-inch Pro Comp lift, and you can tell, I believe this was a coilover from the jump. But somebody went with this double Bilstein shock setup, which is interesting. And we are running a dual steering stabilizer from Pro Comp underneath there, and all that was recently done. All the bushings and everything look new. You can still see the grease fittings. All that was new. I believe it has new tie rod ends and things like that. Also has a new steering box. But anyway, it is running a 6-inch lift, and you'll note that again, I believe this should be a coil, but instead it is dual shock. Rides great, really rides quite well for a 6-inch lifted rig. We are running a set of method wheels. These are size 17 with a set of 35 by 12.5 R17 tires. These tires are brand spanking new, less than 100 miles on them, and they are a mud terrain, but they're quite quiet. They perform well on the road. They're quiet. You don't hear them over the sound of the truck itself. I'll go ahead and, well, I'll get to the hood here in a minute. Just gonna stick with the flow. I don't know, that's kind of cool. Instead of your antenna, you got a bullet there. It's kind of cool. Showing you around. Paint on the sides of the rig is in great condition. It's very clean. The side of the rig looks great. Again, it's just going to be the hood and the roof that do have a little bit of oxidation. I don't see any dents or major scratches on this door or this fender. Also, by the way, it's kind of cool. This lights up. So at nighttime, this is backlit. It says Excursion. That's kind of cool. But so again, it's spent its life in California and Texas. So it is a Southern truck. As well with California as well, but it's rust free. I'll show you underneath here in a minute, but it's a rust free truck. You don't have to worry about that. This passenger side looks great. Maybe a little bit of clear coat flake right there. You can see in comparison to the size of my watch, it's pretty small, but a little bit of clear coat flaking right there. Overall, passenger side very clean, no dents or big dings or scratches. It is running a turbo back exhaust. I believe it's a 4-inch, might be a 5-inch turbo back exhaust. This truck does also have the Bilsteins in the rear and airbags. So it does have the rear airbags, which is cool. Coming around the back, again, it is an XLT. A little bit of oxidation here on this guy, but no dents or dings or major imperfections. See here, coming around driver's side now. Again, kind of more of the same on this side. The paint is in really pretty great condition on the sides and the body. Looks like maybe a little spot right here where somebody was buffing it and went a little too deep. So a little spot right there. Of course, method tires or method wheels and those new tires all around. This one passes the look test, guys. This one's got a really cool look to it. It's a cool looking truck, cool looking Excursion. We do have a door ding right there, and it looks like a little door ding right there. So boom, boom. Those are the first two dents we've seen on the truck. Just a few clear coat issues otherwise, but yeah. This driver's side looks equally as clean. Boom, you can see the setup there. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, and again, it runs good too. We'll test drive it here in a minute. Those wheels look good. One of the things noted by the previous owner was that the brakes were just done as well. And I'll read to you a list of things that were told to me that have been done to this truck recently. But again, that wasn't done by me. It's hearsay. It was told to me. I do have a bunch of records in the back to show you. But all right, the hood is the worst part. There's definitely some oxidation right here in the middle of the rig. Pretty good condition over here. Pretty good condition over here. But right there in the middle, there's definitely some oxidation. And again, you can see we're running the dual steering stabilizer, and you can see those grommets and everything. Those look new. You can see the grease fittings. I was told that all that is new, and it sure looks like it was done recently. Boom, boom, boom. What else can I show you? All right, let's check out. Well, let's go ahead and look underneath it. So again, no rust. You don't have to worry about rust in this thing. Doors are all good as well. There's no rust in this truck. Let me show you underneath that. Oh, by the way, so this has a true 4-link lift. So it was modified in the rear too to have a 4-link in the rear. So this is a well-lifted truck. It was done good. So that's why it handles pretty good. All right, continuing inside. Again, it's the XLT, so it's cloth interior, but the cloth is good. It's in good shape here inside. What else? Well, we do have a Hydra tuner. It's set at a mild tow tune right now. We do have, well, I'll just keep showing you this. Door panel is in good shape. You do have the trailer brake controller. You still get power seats, and you still get a 4-wheel drive, of course. No power adjustable pedals, so that's something you don't get in this one. We have a boost gauge, a pyrometer, and a trans gauge. I'll show you those when we drive it. Again, it's got 207,328 miles. It does have an aftermarket Pioneer head unit. AC blows cold. I believe this is to a light bar that it's wired for, but the light bar is no longer connected. And then that cable there is to hardwire your phone to your Pioneer head unit. Again, your seats are power and they function. All right, coming around. Also noteworthy, this one didn't come with a TV, so the previous owner installed the TV. I don't know if it works. I have not tried it. That's not on my typical workflow, but there you go. There is a TV that's been installed that didn't come from the factory like that. Somebody added that. Rear AC still works. Everything still works. Second row bench. Seats are clean. I don't see any major rips or tears. No major stains in the carpet. Headliner is clean. And you got your third row seat back there. And of course, no rust in the rocker. All right. Both barn doors open up. Again, this is a cool truck, guys. This one, again, really passes the eye test. It does have a 10-inch kicker stereo or sub. We do have the original sticker, which is cool. And we've got the original owner's manual and a pile of receipts. I haven't looked through them, but I think it's always a good sign when the previous owner kept the receipts and kept them in a little box. Sorry for my backpack, but you can see both barn doors open. You can see not a lot of scrapes and scrubs and damage to any of these plastics. So it just looks like it was, you know, used, but well cared for. Passenger side, you know, it's all the same, guys. If you have any questions, give me a call, 979-202-1948, or shoot us an email at info@successmotors.com. Clean rig, no power seats on the passenger side seat. You don't get power seats on the XLT on the passenger side seat. Oh, also, this thing is broken off, so it is missing this pocket on this passenger side door, so make note of that. Yeah, just a good looking rig. It's a good truck. I like it. Stay tuned, we'll test drive it. But let me show you under the hood, and then I'll start it up for you so we can hear it run. These things are so loud, I don't want to show you under the hood with it running because you won't be able to hear me talk. All right. So we decided, I just took it through my mechanic and I had him go through it, and we did a coolant flush. We did oil filter, fuel filters, and we did a trans flush. So we flushed the transmission, and we did a new transmission pan, by the way. So it does have a new transmission pan. It is rocking a K&N cold air intake. It does appear to have, what was I going to say? Yeah, anyway, batteries are date code 2022. Again, we serviced it. Looks good. And then again, it's got a new transmission pan underneath it because I think a bolt was stripped out. All right, let me start this thing up. Whew. All right. Inside the Excursion, again, you can see 207,328 miles. You can see no check engine light or anything like that. That was not a cold start. I drove it over here today. Your windows are working. Windows are working, as are your locks are working. Your stereo is working. Oh, staticky right now on this radio station, but you can hear it coming out. AC is blowing cold and blowing out of the vents. Hopefully you can hear that. And then rear AC is blowing out as well. All right, let me get out so you can hear it idle. No blow by. Yeah, super cool truck. All right, let me run through a list of things that have been done to the truck now that I'm in the AC. If you've made it this far, you're interested in this rig, so definitely watch the whole thing if you're looking to buy it. All right, so this is a list of stuff that the previous owner said that was done to it. I don't have receipts for it, and I didn't do it, but this is what was told to me that has been done, okay? It says it has a complete AC rebuild, complete front end rebuild with inner outer tie rods, new steering box. It says it has an upgraded electric cooling fan. It says it has the cold air intake, 5-inch turbo back exhaust. The transmission was rebuilt recently. New brake pads and rotors, new Bilstein shocks, rear airbags. Yeah, so that's what the previous owner said that he had done to it. So again, I don't have verification of that. I don't have receipts for it, but it was told to me that that's what was done to the rig. And then also what we did to it, again, as we went through it, and we did the coolant flush, we did the transmission flush, we did the oil filters, fuel filter, and the, sorry, I'm having trouble with the seatbelt. What in the world? There we go. Sorry, I was having trouble with the seatbelt. But you can see it's all attached now. Yeah, so we did transmission flush, coolant flush, oil filters, fuel filters, oil, of course, and then a new transmission pan. And I believe it was because the one of the bolts was I guess cross-threaded or stripped out, so we replaced the transmission pan. Again, it's 2001. I don't remember how many owners it has on it, but it is California and Texas truck. It doesn't appear to have any rust from what I've seen in the rockers or the doors or the up underneath it. It's a clean truck. I don't believe it's been in any accidents, and everything seems to be in working condition. It's been Texas state inspected, runs, drives good. We're about to take it for a test drive. So the only negatives would be it does have a little bit of clear coat oxidation there on the hood, which you can see there, where it also has a few spots like that on the roof. We found, I think, 2 door dings on the driver's side. Maybe a little bit of clear coat issues on the passenger side, rear quarter. And then up underneath, I want you to know it does have a little bit of moisture around the rear main seal. So I had my mechanic look at it. He said it wasn't like super severe, didn't need addressing right of way, but it does leave a few drops on a concrete floor overnight. So just want you to be aware of that. We haven't had very many of these diesels that don't leak something, but it does appear to have a little bit of moisture around the rear main seal. We haven't investigated it in too much depth, but my mechanic said it didn't look like it was too severe, but it did leave a few drops of oil underneath it on a concrete floor. So anyway, all right, let's take this thing for a test drive. Again, AC is blowing cold. Transmission shifts smooth. Steering is tight, which feels consistent with it having the steering box replaced relatively recently. Again, it is running a mild tow tune, so it's got a little bit more pep off the bottom than a typical 7.3. Usually they're quite slow. Also, no cracks or anything in the windshield. Hopefully you can see that, no cracks in the windshield. And once we get going, I'll show you these gauges over here on the A-pillar. If you have any questions, let me know, guys. Also, if this one doesn't strike your fancy, we got, I think, 3 or 4 other Excursions right now as well. Hopefully you can see that the transmission shifts smooth. Went right from first, second, third to fourth. We're going 50 miles an hour, running about 1800 RPMs. And yeah, it runs and drives great. It feels like it's a lifted Excursion. It doesn't ride as great as one that's completely stock. But for a 6-inch lifted Excursion, it feels great. Not a lot of free play in the steering wheel. And as I mentioned, there's the boost gauge. It is functional. Pyrometer is functional. And the transmission gauge is functional. And by the way, I've driven this thing quite a bit. I've never seen the transmission gauge, even get past like that first little notch there. It seems to be staying pretty cool. So that's good. I'll continue to drive it here for a few more minutes just so you can get a great idea of it. Also, if you're watching this video, leave a comment if you've been liking the audio better. Let me know if the audio has been better. I think it is. I just switched to a different setup, but let me know what y'all think. Oh, the mirrors do work. I don't think I showed that on the video. Let's see if I can get this hit this stoplight on red, or I'll do it right now. Hopefully you saw that. I don't know if you can see that while I'm driving, but the mirrors do work. Well, cool. There we go. In summary, really great Ford Excursion. It really looks the part. It runs good, drives good. I'm sitting here driving it with one hand on the steering wheel. It's doing awesome, going 50 miles an hour, about 1500 RPMs. Shifts good. It has good maintenance history per what I've been told. We've run through it. And then again, the only couple negatives I'm aware of is we do have some paint issues on the hood and the roof. And then there is some moisture around the rear main seal. So it's leaving a few drops of oil there on the ground. So anyway, otherwise, it seems to be a great rig, and I think it'll be a good rig for you. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, God bless you guys, and we'll talk to you soon.